Good evening, everyone. You have like about 1 more minute to get everybody on the call. We have two great speakers that you do not want to miss or have anyone that you know to miss this call. So please get as many people on this call right now. You have 1 minute left. I will be doing that as well. In the meantime, please put in the chat where you are coming from, where you are, so we can go ahead and greet you and thank you for joining. My name is Zena Edgehill, and I am from the state of Maryland. I see we do have Elisa. Good evening, Fernando Ramirez from Los Angeles. I see Cassandra from Goldsboro, North Carolina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see we have some great leaders on the call as well. We have Elisa from New Jersey. I don't know who's Galaxy J7, but they're from California. Welcome to the call. Okay. Again, my name is Zena Edgehill, and I am here. One moment. I am here to introduce two great speakers of ours. You are definitely not wanting to get
your people on this call. You must get them on this call so you can hear what they have to present. Just one moment while I mute my phone as well. My apologies. Okay. Okay, so I'm coming from Maryland. If you could please put it in the chat where you are coming from. We are also on the YouTube channel. I believe someone can kind of like drop that in the chat as well. So those can, whoever didn't make it on the call can see us on YouTube. So my first speaker would be Dr. G.W. Parker, a founder and member of MWR, who is one of our top leaders. He is very, very well diverse in this industry. He is a two-star regional director. Dr. Parker achieved the incredible milestone of leaving his $65,000 a year job in just 2 years to pursue his MWR business full time. Now, Dr. Parker has brought in many leaders that's in this business right now. He's paving the way for many of us, and we are definitely grateful and honored for his leadership. And also my second speaker will be Eric Wilner. He's our speaker. He's a wealth of experience of a deep understanding of the real estate market and a passion for helping others achieve their dream homes. Eric Wilner is a licensed realtor and a seasoned mortgage broker and a veteran investor. He's seen the market from every angle, and he's here to share his insights with us. So please get your pen and paper ready, because these two gentlemen really have something great to share with us. But that's not all. Eric speaks 4 different languages. He has English, Portuguese, Spanish, and German under his belt. He is also a founder and a host of America's longest running daily real estate radio show, heard bright and early during your drive, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. So he is known to how he knows how to communicate, and he knows this industry inside out. So that is also in the state of Florida, which I did not mention. So if you're in the state of Florida, please to make certain that you are tuning into Eric Wilner in the morning. So you great knowledge, a lot of information. Beyond that, Eric is a lifestyle and legacy coach with MWR, dedicated to empowering individuals to build not just wealth, but a fulfilling and lasting legacy. It is my honor to present Dr. D.W. Parker, G.W. Parker, and Eric Wilner to the platform. So with that being said, it is my honor to even present you both.
Zena, thank you so much for that incredible introduction. Eric, she speaks highly of you, my friend. But well-deserved kudos to you, your success, and all you've been able to do to help so many people. Now, Zena mentioned, folks, that Eric spoke 4 different languages. So tonight we bring you the presentation in German.
Das ist gut. Und wir anfangen jetzt so.
I love this guy. This is really incredible. Good deal. Hey, my friend, it's great to see you another Wednesday night. Here we are again, about to unveil what I consider to be the greatest opportunity that exists on planet Earth. And we're going to talk MWR. So, Eric, I want to make this point, which I always do, because this was really what fascinated me about you. When we met, you talked about these core beliefs, not just for yourself, these principles that you held dear to your heart, but what you believe that was possible for everyone. So as you talk about that, I'll bring up the PowerPoint. Please share with us, sir, if you would.
Absolutely. And by the way, it's a great pleasure to hang out with you. You know, I look forward to when we get together. You know, we cross paths sometimes throughout the week, sometimes we don't, but we always know we're going to be right here and have this conversation. So I'm excited to have this conversation for the big reason that throughout my 26 years on the radio, 30 plus years in the real estate field, I've developed a real passion for home ownership. I believe that everyone should be a homeowner. More people stay married longer, earn more, get better grades in school. The kids get better grades. They're better developed, better, more stabilized. The reasons go on, and that's why it's such an important part. Number two is I believe that you should have that house in a financial order as well. And the way to do that is to have a written plan. Whether you call it a life plan, a financial plan, you got to have it in writing. We're bombarded by so many messages every single day that it's easy to lose track and get distracted by the next shiny object. And number three, I believe that every person should own a business because everybody should have multiple streams of income. Most people end up retiring on one, and if lucky two, but generally speaking, 80% of Americans end up relying on Social Security for their retirement, a program that was never designed to be a retirement program. And at a maximum payout of $4,000, it's hardly what I consider the golden years. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to present an alternative. And the reason why I like this alternative is it aligns very well with those three beliefs that I have. And literally, it's in a category of one. And you're going to find out why we're going to say that tonight. Back to you, Dr. Parker.
Absolutely, Eric. And you mentioned that what I was going to kind of piggyback off what you were saying and basically say what you just said is that it lines right up with those core principles that you mentioned. And that's why MWR is such a win for so many people, because it is, Eric, a vehicle to help them get to the next level of their life. So again, guys, we're talking about MWR. And if you don't know what MWR stands for, it stands for Make Wealth Real. And we're real serious about it. This is where lifestyle and legacy connect. Now, what you'll see in here tonight is our lifestyle and legacy presentation, our ability to live the lifestyle you want and also build the legacy for your family. And I would dare say if we don't do it for our families, then who will? But there's some things that we face, Eric, on the way to trying to build that legacy, right? One, we've got to position ourselves. So how do we do it? We trade time for money, or we own a business, or whatever way you're generating income, right? These are the reasons that we work to maintain the current lifestyle and also the future lifestyle. The goal at the end of the day is to leave a legacy. We don't want our work to be in vain. But there's some challenges, Eric, that we face, and there are three major ones that we've got to get answers to, and we've got to do it quickly. Me personally, the clock is ticking, my friend. It's moving fast. So we've got to get this done as soon as possible. Now, here are the questions that we've got to answer. One, how do we make more money? Two, how do we keep more of the money we make? And three, how do we make our money work for us? And we're going to dig deep and get into that and help you understand how to do it, because here are the results right now. And we say enough is enough. But the results from most Americans, Eric, they're working 50 plus years. You know the plan that was put in place years ago, 40 hours a week for 40 years. You surrender that. And then they expect you to live off 40% of the income that you were earning when you were working full time. And we know the great majority of people couldn't make it off 100%, much less 40%. So what do we end up doing? Financing a lifestyle instead of owning it. And we're leaving our families in debt instead of a legacy. And Eric, this is the real picture that the great majority of people in this country are facing.
And this is in the wealthiest country in the world that we have we've set up the majority of people to fail at the financial system. If you heard that a college was failing 80% of the people, or 80% of the people didn't get a meaningful job, you'd never go to that college.
Never.
And yet, like you said, the plan was set a long time ago, back in the industrial age. And as I listen to you speak, you talk about 50 years of work, when people are still talking about the 40-40 trap, when they were giving 40 years of their lives. But now more and more people are having to work longer and later. Those people at Walmart, in their 70s and 80s aren't there because they want to be.
Listen, I meet more people every single day that have already committed 30 or 40 years of their life to a job, retired, and have gone back to work, not because they want to, because they absolutely have to. They're trying to close that gap and maintain some quality of life. Sad commentary as it is, but we've got a way out of the mess that we find ourselves in, and we offer something different, right? What separates us from anyone else in this industry is what I consider to be an opportunity of a lifetime, because Eric, we in the financial service space guarantee success. I mean, look at what they say. If our expert strategy or opportunity cannot put more money back in your pocket in the first 30 days, MWR, this very concept that you're viewing tonight, will give you a full refund. So here's what we know. There's no risk to you. The only way that you can lose is simply by choosing not to participate. And Eric, we encourage everyone to participate in their own rescue. Upload the document, schedule the appointment, give these experts a real chance to help you take your life from wherever it is to wherever it is you desire it to be financially.
Yeah, and it's funny, you started out by saying if you don't do it, who will? I think people are now disillusioned enough, whether it's the right, the left, or the middle, who make promises that they're going to take care of you. But the bottom line is this country was built by people who take care of themselves, and this is how this country will continue to grow and thrive. And here is an opportunity. Like I said, like you said, there's no risk. Zero risk, right? The only financial services company that I know of that uses the word guarantee. Ask your stockbroker what guarantee he has to offer. Ask any one of your brokers what guarantees they have to offer, and they'll say, "Listen, we can't even use that word. Compliance won't allow it, and quite frankly, we don't even know how to do it." And here, like I said, here's a first example of why this is a company of one. Because, and I'll repeat for you, if our experts, strategies, or opportunity cannot put more money in your pocket than the cost of membership, okay? So tonight we're talking about a very special membership. But if they can't do that within the first 30 days, okay, we're not even talking about a long trial period, MWR will give you a full, and I like to say cheerful, refund. And you and I both know that there's not a lot of refunds being given because this is impactful.
No question about it, sir. Let's move forward and talk about that membership that you spoke of, the Lifestyle and Legacy membership, what it consists of and what the experts do. And Eric, I'll let you lay this one out because this is incredible what we bring to the table.
Yeah. And this is, the first thing that caught my eye was what I call this money matrix. Okay. You see these 9 squares. And by the way, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are many more services, but here's the bottom line. Our experts, and we're talking about CPAs, CFPs, IRS enrolled agents, are going to help you starting today without you having to worry about the meter running and how many hundreds of dollars an hour this is going to cost you. Without that, they're going to keep more of the money that you make in your pocket. They're going to show you how to make more money, and then most importantly, make your money work for you. You see, the wealthy understand this. There's only 24 hours a day. So you can make $5, $10, you can make $1,000 an hour, but there's only 24 hours a day. Wealthy people, their money makes money while they sleep. And finally, the wealthy also protect their income and their assets. And here's the cool part, right? Our experts are doing the work. It's not you, Dr. Parker, who have a great education. It's not me who has a lot of experience, because I have experience in a narrow area of the market, right? I don't have to have all these licenses or all these states to be able to help other people, because our experts do the work and you get the results.
That's the bottom line, and that's what MWR brings to the table, sir. But let's talk about strategies, right? How do we do this? How do we help people move themselves forward and position themselves to win? I mean, you laid out a few of the core services that we bring to the table, but it goes even deeper, Eric. And then what's profound to me, not only what we offer, but what we're able to put back in the pockets of the average person that accesses this program. Talk about these strategies.
Well, if you remember, there were 9 squares, and the first 4 were these light blue colored squares. Now, I don't care whether you have $2 in your wallet or $2 million in your bank account. You need these services. You and I both need it, and I'm really talking about you and I, but I'm talking about everybody who is here tonight. The bottom line is that debt is the middleman between you and financial freedom. As long as there is debt, there is not true freedom. And by eliminating your debt, and imagine having experts showing you exactly which bills to pay, what day, when, what amount, that's one of our big thing. In fact, debt, believe it or not, Gerald, has become the number 1 expense. It is now topped taxes. Taxes that used to be the number 1 expense, most people paid it around 30 to 34%, 35%. Now eliminating debt is now at 34 cents of every dollar. And that's according to a recent Wall Street Journal research that they just published. Then all the other bills, lower my monthly bills. Imagine having experts that says, Eric, let me see your list of bills, because we know that across the country, even without changing carriers, that, do you think that Verizon offers the same program to everybody across the country? No, the same way you don't pay the same, airfare. You could be sitting next to somebody on an airplane and going from the same place to the same place, arriving at the same time, and yet you guys could be hundreds of dollars apart on what you paid for that airfare. And then the big one, okay? Most people don't focus on this, but let me tell you, being in real estate and being in finance for a long time, that the number one most important number to your finances is your credit score, okay? With a great credit score, an 800 plus credit score, doors fly open. The people who lend money want to pay you to borrow their money. When you have below a 700 credit score, you're paying a premium for every charge card, every, retail purchase that you make. And that's why it's so important. Plus, it even can make the difference between what jobs you can or cannot get. Employers are pulling them anyway, even if they allow a poor credit score. Can you imagine that if you had two equal candidates, one had a good credit score and one had a bad credit score, guess who's getting the job? You don't even have to answer the question. And so here's the thing, our experts ship the money back to you from the government, okay? Lower your taxes from big banks and finance companies, from big business that are, vacuuming the money right out of your pocket as fast as you can make it. And by eliminating your debt, reducing your taxes, lowering your bills, including your healthcare costs, and we have a great healthcare program, especially for self-employed people out there. As I mentioned, included in the membership is restoring your credit score, building your credit score, repairing, whatever the case may be. And then when you do all of this, here's the cool part. And whether you have bad credit today or no credit, do you know that you could turn your rent into home ownership? One of the parts that I'm most proud of, and of course, most aligned with, is the fact that MWR, when the banks say no, MWR says yes through our Keys to Home Ownership program, that it doesn't matter. It no longer is a barrier. And then when you add in another $150 a month in rewards dollars that save you on everyday purchases, restaurants and places that you shop every day, when you add all of that, do you know that the average member in MWR, the average member saves $2,000 per month? Think about that again. Imagine a membership. What would a membership be worth that put $2,000 of your own money back into your pocket every single month?
Hey, that's a big deal, Eric. And I don't care where people are in their financial life as it relates to their income, but you're talking about putting $2,000 additional money back into your pocket from your existing finances. That's huge, my friend. But now that we put that money back into your pocket, what should we do? Many would go shopping. I think not. Now is the time to find a job for that money. We want to put it to work. Look at these strategies, man. This is big time here. This is how we separate ourselves from the average person and position ourselves to live the life of our dreams. Eric, when I look at this, and I'll let you go through it, but these are the same tools that wealthy people have always had access to, that you and I and everyone on this platform and anyone else who cares to have it, it's available to us now.
Yeah. And usually what's only passed down, either by word of mouth, through family tradition, or in the top social clubs and country clubs. These tools that we're talking about, and I call these our level 2 strategies. I said that level 1, everybody's got to do that. You got to check all 4 boxes. Once you do that, you're going to have money left over, sometimes as much as $2,000. What are you going to do with it? You can put it in our diversified cash flow account. This is an account very similar to what banks do. It allows you to invest your money, however, at above bank rates, and yet allow you to use the money more than once. You see, with the bank, you deposit money in the bank, they take your money and pay you 0.0% for that money. They then lend that money out today at around 7%. So that's a great business model, 0 cost, 7% profit. And then as the money payments come in, what do? They put it back into your account? No, they lend it out again and again and again. 9 to 11 times is what the normal is. And yet most of us get to use our money once. Imagine if we could put our money, get a great return, and then access that money and then buy a second asset and then a third asset. That's just one of the many programs. We have our private reserve account. It's like private banking, a tax protected, asset protected way to build up your net worth. Land banking. Sometimes we talk more about this. I'm only going to say that there are experts that buy land in the path of progress, knowing fully well that 5 to 7 years from now, they're going to need that land. They buy it at a discount now when no one's paying attention, sell it when they need it at a healthy return. We're getting 30+% returns in some of those land banking assets that we have. And again, experts are doing the work. This is not even me who knows real estate. I'm not a land banking expert, but we have one. Then we have precious metals, another area which I'm just learning about now, thanks to our platform, the precious metals platform. And this is a platform different than a lot of other way people invest in precious metals, where they invest in certificates or stocks in. This is the real deal. You own the gold, the silver, the platinum, the palladium, etc. And then now that you are doing these level 2 strategies, you want to put a moat around that. You want to put a protection layer. And how do the wealthy do that? With trusts. And we have our own department, again, accessible to every member, the ability to now create trust for, to be able to protect not only your assets and your income. So there are the strategies. This is how you live a better life now with all the savings. You invest it for a better retirement, and then you're able to leave truly a legacy.
That's what it's all about, my friend. I think that's what we're all after. We just need a viable way to do it, a plan, and MWR brings us that. So everything you need to secure your lifestyle and your legacy in one membership. Eric, let's talk about the cost of this membership and what's involved.
Yes, and this is what is very exciting. For little more than a cup of coffee a day, you have a membership that gives you unlimited access. Think about that. For $149, if I asked you, Gerald, would you give me $149 if I could show you how to save up to $2,000 a month?
All day, every day, my friend.
That's right. And twice on Sundays. And all this with no contracts, no setup fees, no credit score required. And it includes your spouse or your domestic partner or a father, son, mother, daughter. 2 people, same address, one price. So you could basically cut that cost in half. Meanwhile, remember, we're talking about experts that would cost this for a half hour or twice this for an hour or more. And yet you have unlimited access, basically having experts now on speed dial, just like the wealthy do. And don't forget how you started off this conversation with a cheerful 30-day money-back guarantee. If our experts, our strategies can't put more money in your pocket than the cost of this membership, which, by the way, is a great value.
Well, I mean, you talk about great value. You mentioned it being basically averaging out to be about the price of a cup of coffee a day, $149.97 per month. When we know the average cost of a good CPA or financial planner in any city in America right now is $200 to $300 an hour. But you being in the financial service space for as long as you have, you've seen these numbers and you've dealt with some of these experts. You can't get a CPA. You can't get this sort of advice for only $149.97 per month.
And these are nationally vetted. These are high quality. These are not just somebody answering questions out of a 3-ring binder. These are known, licensed, experts in there. And that, thousands of our members are already using it. I use the CPAs all the time. I now no longer hesitate. I have a question. Boom. I want to get the real answer. And the neat thing about it, in my experience, is that if I wanted, and I'll give you an example, I wanted to set up an anonymous corporation in a different state. Okay, your average CPA doesn't know that. Your average Florida CPA might not know that, but they escalated, gave me the expert, gave me various different options, and that conversation took about an hour. That could have cost me, for that level of expertise, easily $500 an hour.
Wow. No doubt about it. It's a huge savings, folks. No question. That's why we believe that MWR is the perfect business. Let's talk about why. Well, where else can you get paid daily? Every single day, Eric, while someone else does the work for you and for everybody that you refer. There's only one way to do it. Tell us how we do this.
So not only is it a great membership value, but it's also sets you up for an opportunity. Remember, I talked about you got to have a business. You see, every business owner has over 400 tax advantages that the employee doesn't have. You and I both know there's two tax codes. I mean,
Yep.
everything is out in the wide open. People just aren't informed. And the beautiful thing, MWR informs you, and they train you and teach you how to become an LLC, a lifestyle and legacy coach. You see, you're showing people how to have access to the experts. You're not doing the work. And how do you do that for $249? Imagine being able to not start, okay? Because 80% of businesses go out within the first 5 years. Not start a business, but buy an ongoing proven formula business, a 100% IRS compliant business in a box for $249. And that includes a one-time $100 business setup fee. And I'll tell you in a second, all the things that you get for that 100. It's an amazing value all the way across. Plus your monthly $149 for the membership fee. And remember, that's a good for two. But you know that you can even get that membership fee waived, whether you're just a member or whether you're a business, when you refer. And just like you do with restaurants and movies, when you have a great experience, and you will, when you have a great experience, you're going to refer people to MWR experts. And when you do that 3 times, even as a member, now your membership is waived. If you're a business owner, you do that 3 times, your membership is waived. So you literally could have a either self-funded or completely no cost business with a one-time upfront investment of $249. I don't know how to make it more clear what a great deal it is, to have a team of experts that are there to help you. It's not me being an expert in taxes and debt elimination. You're going to leverage your time. You tell them, you point them, the experts do the work, the strategies do the work, get the results. And the beautiful thing is that there's also training that comes along with this business, websites, social media templates, everything that you need for a total startup cost of $249. And for me, when I saw that, that was a very easy value to digest and to take advantage of.
Oh, no question about it, sir. You mentioned, I mean, the fact that you could get the membership free just by referring 3, and you use the example of, if you have a good experience, whether it's a restaurant, a movie, or whatever it might be, the first thing we do, we share it with others. I am still sharing, sir, what you shared with me in South Florida, this incredible Brazilian restaurant. I don't know how many people I've told about it, but thank you for introducing me to it. And again, I've had other people call me and say, hey, thanks for the introduction. It was great. And they continue to go there. But I mean, you think about $249.97 to go in business. Look at what you've done. You partner with the fastest growing financial strategies company in the country. That's MWR. Not only that, that $249.97 investment, Eric, puts us in the middle of a multi-trillion-dollar year industry, which is financial services. I mean, that we bring to the table the solution to the problem that 98% of the people in this country are facing. The issue is finances. People are looking for a way out, and we bring that solution to the table without having to become the expert in any of these areas. But on top of it, we have a chance through this partnership to make a ridiculous amount of money through our unlimited daily pay and industry-leading residual income. We're going to take a quick glance at that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a peek at this residual income that's available to us through our revenue sharing program. And Eric, I'll let you break this down because I love the way you do it. But there's so much money on the table. I mean, it makes your head spin.
Well, and I love your quote. They pay us ridiculous amounts of money for very simple work, referring, right? And here is what I call the income menu. This is where you get to pick. You want to do a little bit part-time, you can do it part-time. You want to do it full-time, you can go full-time. And literally, if you look at this, the cool thing about this is these luxury residuals. And let me just focus on that for a second, because the minute that you decide that you want to do this as a business, of course, you're going to want to build a team. And when you build a team as small as 3 people that join your team, MWR promotes you to an executive director. Just a title. I don't really worry about titles. Show me the money. And they start by showing me $5 a day. By probably no small coincidence, $5 a day times 30 is $150 a month. So here's another way to pay for your membership very simply right up front. But the neat thing about that is MWR also wants to encourage and motivate you. If you do that within the first 30 days, they're going to give you an additional bonus, the momentum bonus of $150 in your first 30 days. And then the training goes like this. Now, instead of you going out and building your team bigger yourself, teach your team to go ahead and refer their 3. And once that happens, you got 3 that got 3 each. Now you have a team of 12. You're now making $20 a day. Now, $150 may not have moved the needle, and it's nice that it pays for your business, a self-funding business. It's nice that it basically pays all your investment back to you in the first 30 days. But now you're making $600 a month, and you're still starting this very, very part-time. And I'm going to show you more about that later. But $600 a month will move the needle. That's a nice car payment. It could be, a good chunk of a mortgage payment. But that's $7,300 a year extra part-time without a lot of efforts. And by the way, if you decide to really roll up your sleeves and move on it, every time that 6 people join your group in a week, you get $300. And there's no limit. So if you get 6, it's $300. 12, it's $600. 18, it's $900. There's 6 different revenue streams. But let's focus back on the luxury residuals, because I like that. Now, if you got your 3 to get 3 in their first 30 days, your first 60 days, now the company bonuses you another $450. And watch how this adds up. Now you teach the next incoming freshman class to get their 3, and that's it, just 3. You now would have 36 people. You would be considered a 3-star executive director. You would now be receiving every day, and you and I both know that on our phone at 5:00 something, depends on where you are in the country, we get a little reminder that says that your money was electronically deposited into your account. That's every single day, Monday through Sunday. But look at this, $50 a day times 30 is $1,500. Do you know that the average Social Security check being mailed out today in America stands at about $1,600? You just replaced or doubled that same Social Security check in your first 90 days. And ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting warmed up. Now, you continue that thing. And the bottom line is you have to understand this is not about you finding 36 people. You found 3 who knew 3. And I bet you that in your phone right now, there's 3 people out there that are looking for an opportunity. There's 3 people out there that are having that daily conversation that everybody is having about money. Are we in a recession? Is inflation going to slow down? The cost of eggs, the cost of gas, the cost of everything, every single day. A day doesn't go by where that conversation doesn't come up. And what a perfect setup to be able to share this opportunity with other people. I mean, the only way you can't share this is that you're not trying. And look at that. The daily pay goes from 5 to 20 to 50, 100, goes to $200 a day. This is other people building the organization sequentially. Do you know that this company will pay up to $15,000? Let your eyes dream a little bit down to $15,000 a day. And that means times 30, that's $450,000 a month. In my business, they used to say you had a really good month, a really good year that month. And now you're talking about athletes' money, $450 a month. That's $5.4 million a year possible. And that's not including the other 6 different revenue streams. So, Dr. Parker, what changes when you're making $1,000, $1,500 a day, not to mention the $15,000?
Listen, my friend, everything. The clothes you wear, the way you send your kids to school, the house you live in, it changes the whole game.
In fact, in fact. And that's why, Zena likes to call this her retirement plan. And she looks at this and she's building her way, down the steps. I think all of us look at this and just want to imagine like this would be good. This would be better. What do I have to do? Oh, all I have to do is share a great company with a money back guarantee in the single most important area, the single largest industry, by the way. That the financial service industry is a $109 trillion business. It's bigger than the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball all combined. That's what we're talking about.
That's a big deal, my friend. And there is a great deal of money on the table. And here's the beautiful part about the way this is structured. It doesn't take a lot to get it done, Eric, in the way of people. It doesn't require you to go out and sponsor these people yourself. As you mentioned, you just, to get it started, to self-fund your business, go find 3 business partners and teach them to do the exact same thing. But there's no limit to the income possibilities. Now, let's kind of slow walk this, if you would, using the simulator, which I enjoy, right? Because now I use this as a comparison, running to the money or walking to the money. So let's walk to it, Eric, and show us how we do it using the simulator that MWR has created for us.
I'll make it better, Gerald. How about even crawling to the money? Because I started out by saying, get yourself 3 people in a month. What if? Okay. And by the way, whenever I ask somebody, what's their income target, what do they go? Oh, they want to make $100,000 a year. Seems to be the most common answer I ever hear. So let's use that as just an example. The simulator, you can go online and on our website and play with it yourself. But instead of getting 3 people, I'm going to get one. I'm going to build my team by 1 per month. Ladies and gentlemen, that is part-time. But at the end of the year, I'm going to have 12, right? And assuming that out of all the people I talked to, I got 12 people to join, but one person said, all I want is the membership. I'll be happy to have the membership. So I have now, believe it or not, a total membership of 13 members that I created and I'm responsible for. That makes me a second degree or 2-star executive director earning $600 a month for very part-time. This is what I call a by the way business, right? By the way, did you know? Well, let's take it in the second year. I'm going to just steady, the tortoise and the hare. You remember that story? The tortoise, he just never stopped. Every month he added 1 more. Well, do you know that by year 2, if only half of your original 12 got 12, then you would have 72 additional LLCs or members building the business in your organization. You would have 72 memberships in your group. And now you have total members of 157, which, by the way, now has promoted you several ranks up to 4-star executive director, now earning $3,000 a month, twice what Social Security would be paying you. But let's continue our crawl 1 more year. Ladies and gentlemen, would you invest if you knew that you could retire in 3 years? Would you roll up your sleeves and put a little bit more effort than this? Think about it. But in our 3rd year, we continue at the same pace. And now we have 216 members in our organization. Because remember, each person that we had when we had 72 went out and got their 12, and only 50% of that 72 did that. Brings us now to 589 total members simulated. All I needed for that 9,000 was 480 members. I'm now earning $9,000 a month, and do the math, times 12, that's $108,000 in a quick 3 years. I should say a slow 3 years, however you want to look at it. But Gerald, where else can you do this?
Nowhere, my friend. And believe me, I've searched. It doesn't exist. But here you've got a real shot at ringing the bell. No question about it. Listen, our member results speak for themselves, Eric. We've already got $1 million residual club ring earners and people who are, getting paid every single day. You and I and many others, we're saving money. Not only that, we're earning interest instead of paying it. That's a pretty good feeling. And not only that, we're building and buying homes of our dreams thanks to your program, the Keys to Home Ownership, and driving the cars of our dreams. We're living the lifestyle of our dream. And Eric, the key to all of this is we're living and leaving a legacy for our family. We have the ability to do it. So I'll say the folks that are with us tonight, the only thing is missing is you, because everyone on this side of the fence with MWR, we're winning. So if not MWR, then what? And if not, say, I mean, when? I mean, when do we move on this, and when do we begin to move ourselves forward? So Eric, our audience has some choices to make. Help them understand that either choice they make tonight is not a bad one.
Yeah, every day we have choices to make, but this is an important one because you have just been presented with one of the most outstanding value-packed memberships on the planet. The membership alone would be worth this tonight's conversation. And for $149 to have access to level 1 strategies, level 2 strategies, and all the experts that we're talking about, plus the trust, plus, for $149.97. And PS, remember, refer 3, you can even have all of those benefits, 100% of those benefits, nothing watered down, and not be charged for it. Or if you're like me, and a lot of us that looked at this opportunity and said, for just a one-time additional $100, so a total of $249 in the first month, and then $149 thereafter. And once again, you can get that for free by referring 3, build your team of 3, then it's a self-funding business, but you now have access to over 6 different revenue streams, unlimited income potential on your terms, on your time, in your location. It's up to you. Do you want some of the money, or as we like to say, all of the money? And Gerald, when I saw this, it took me, a New York minute to decide that for an extra $100, I do want the membership, and I use it. I told you that I use it, but I also want the ability, because as myself in the real estate business, as a real estate agent, most real estate agents probably walk away from about 30 to 40% of the clients that come to them for a home because they can't get approved by a bank. And imagine saying, doesn't matter what your credit score, I leave no home buyer behind. Either I'm going to take you the conventional route, or I'm going to take you the keys to home ownership route. Either way, you're going to be in a home. And the neat thing about our home ownership program also is that imagine building your credit with our mortgage instead of building your credit to get a mortgage. And that's why this choice to me was very, very simple. As a mortgage broker, as a real estate agent, this is a great add-on. If you're in the financial services business, imagine now being able to help people in all 50 states without being licensed in it. There's a lot more than meets the eye, but this simple decision right here, it took me about, half a New York minute to decide that I wanted all of the money, Gerald.
Well, I mean, think about it. You mentioned 6 income streams tied to this platform, right? And we've just added one that we've not even talked about, but we're going to dig in a little deeper as it relates to business funding. That's what's available now. That's an additional platform that we've added to the suite of services that we already have available. So these guys have thought of everything, Eric. And at such a critical time in the economy where business owners are strapped for cash and needing money, we now have a way to assist those business owners in securing funding without jeopardizing their personal credit score.
Yeah. And so, like you said, there's no risk, 0 risk. There's only an upside. You will only learn. Your financial IQ, which is very important, will only grow. Your finances are likely to only grow. And that's why someone invited you to tonight's presentation, hoping that you would see what they saw and an opportunity to grow and build a business, how to make more money, keep more of the money that you make, and then make that money work for you the way that successful people do.
It's a big deal, my friend. We've got something here, but let's get back to it again and talk more about the difference that we bring to the table versus anyone else in this industry. What separates us, I believe, this fact that we offer a guarantee. We guarantee your success. And as you said earlier, look at what they say. If our expert strategies or opportunity cannot put more money back into your pocket than the cost of the membership in the first 30 days, MWR gives you a full refund, eliminating all risk, Eric. And the only way that anyone will lose is simply by choosing not to participate. Now, again, you've been in the financial service space for years, decades, actually, and you've been around this industry. Who else offers a guarantee?
No one, no one, not in this industry. And so you have to imagine that the gentleman that founded this company, a serial entrepreneur, but also a visionary, created this program, and he will openly state that his goal, this is his last hurrah, is to create more millionaires than any other company that ever came before him. And I think he's on the path to do that.
No doubt about it. Absolutely. And these guys are, like I said, very serious about it as well. But Eric, so with what our folks have seen, speaking to our audience now, like, on behalf of myself and Mr. Wilden, we'd like to welcome you to the MWR family. We strongly encourage you to get back with the marketing director that referred you and let them know whether you want some of the money or whether you want all of the money. I say get started. Now is our moment. What do we have to lose with the money back guarantee, positioning yourself to win in your financial life? But Eric, we'll close with this final slide. Again, guys, this is where Lifestyle and Legacy connect. But this one is quite profound here. And this picture is worth 1,000 words, but I'll let you kind of talk about this as we end our presentation tonight.
Yeah, and I honestly don't know what floats each person's boat, whether it's, great vacations and great destinations, whether it be, the leisure time, the time to spend with your family, doing the things that matter, fancy stuff, fancy cars, fancy houses. Really it doesn't matter. This is a vehicle that allows you to enjoy that lifestyle with a little bit of effort and a lot of leverage. But here's the thing, let's look forward, okay? And that photo there, it's really interesting because at every estate there's a fireplace, and over that fireplace is a portrait of the patriarch or matriarch that was responsible. And everybody remembers John D. Rockefeller, even though he lived over 100 years ago. Everybody knows the Carnegies, the Vanderbilts, the Gates, and now the Musks. Their photo is going to be somewhere, and generations to come will remember them because they were smart and they were generous and left a legacy. The question is, what legacy, what will your grandchildren remember about you? And will their grandkids also remember that? And how you do that is to create, a solid legacy using our trust services, using the solid financial tools that the wealthy and the successful people do. And I hope that there's two choices that, not making a choice, by the way, is a choice. It's not the choice that you should make. And people don't score on the field by sitting in the bleachers. You got to get on the playing field. And, I'll ask the same question that Gerald started off. If not you, who? If not now, when? And if not this, what?
Wow. Listen, quite profound. And as I look at this, we talk about the legacy, and will your great grandchildren remember you? I mean, if you've done what you need to do now, let us not let our work be in vain. Then absolutely, you can create the legacy. We deserve it. Our families deserve it. We've got a real chance at doing it through this partnership with MWR. Now, Eric, that concludes our presentation, but I'm going to stop the screen share and come out to the field and have our technician, I think Mr. Fernando Ramirez is running the show in the background there, open up the mics and cameras for those who may have questions. Guys, now will be the time to get your questions answered. We don't want you to leave this platform tonight without having a full understanding of what you've seen and heard. If there are questions, please raise your hand or open your mic.
Hi, Adrian. Your picture is there and your hand is raised.
Hi, how are you? Just wanted to
Wonderful.
say I don't have any questions. I'm already in, but Edie is on, so I don't know if she raised her hand, and she'll tell you the rest on that. But I have a guest coming next week, so I'll call me tomorrow morning when you finish the radio show.
Very good.
Thanks.
Great to see you.
You too. I'm at church.
Great place to be.
Amen.
And no doubt about it. Anyone else?
And you know, while people are either thinking of their questions or until they raise their hands, you know, speaking about church, you know, Dr. Parker founded the Kingdom Builders, which is a part of MWR that promotes that you know, the financial stewardship that many churches, you know, want to have. They want to teach their congregation exactly how to treat money, and you've spearheaded this. So this is also a wonderful thing to come and share to churches, and quite frankly, any organization that wants to help their members to be more financially intelligent, to have a better financial future, to manage their money better. So I just wanted to take my hat off and compliment you on that, because you know, it's a group that's growing, and it's a group that has purpose. And it also shows, you know, because I know that the founder of the company also has a lot of similar feelings. This is a faith-based, you know, well-oriented organization, and I think that matters too.
Oh, no doubt about it. Absolutely, it does. And you're right, Eric. I mean, very few churches have stewardship platforms in place. And for those who don't, I say, then who's teaching your members how to manage God's money? So we've got to get this piece right as well. But we do bring a lot. This is an incredible platform. Again, you mentioned the CEO and founder, our good friend, Mr. Brian House. I tip my hat to him for acting on the vision that God had given him and pursuing it and laying out this plan and giving us all an opportunity to participate so that we might, you know, secure a future for ourselves and our families. So we're honored and excited to be here with you to share this information. Guys, we're asking you to come back again next Wednesday night, but bring someone with you. Let's double our numbers. Let's tell the world about this story because people need to know. I mean, I think it was Ben McCrae who used to always say that people live quiet lives of desperation. They suffer in silence, and they're looking for a way out. And we bring that to the table, no question about it. Our good friend and business partner out of Southern California, Mr. Fernando Ramirez, is with us tonight. It's an honor, sir, to be on this platform with you, Fernando. Welcome to the platform.
Hey, thank you both, Eric, Dr. GW. You guys present so well. I mean, the conversation is friendly. As a matter of fact, I do have a guest here tonight, so I want to, you know, welcome everyone for being here. 35, 36 participants, but Jennifer Hernandez, with her practice company, she transformed her life. So she's seeing the opportunity for the second time around, and we had a conversation with her. So she's here with us tonight. Jennifer Hernandez, we want to give you a welcome. I know definitely we get back on, you know, working. There you are. All right. We get back on this, you know, we're going to do great things together again. So Jennifer, it's a pleasure having you here with FWR.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hey there.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
You know, in the same way I was talking about Dr. Parker, you know, Fernando Ramirez, you already know him. This is a gentleman, an entrepreneur that's been in the business, you know, for 3 decades, that he could have picked any company out there with his, you know, gravitas, his intelligence, his experience, and here he is. I see some other doctor titles in the list of people on here. We got a great number, but it's great to be partners with you too, Fernando.
Thank you so much. You guys provide so much. I mean, you guys come from different backgrounds, but see, the job gets done. Everybody needs what we do. I mean, you know, I was a plumber working too many hours for too little money, and here I am working with 2 incredible leaders that are presenting our information tonight. So once again, thank you so much to you both, and again, welcome everyone. Great to be here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Guys, we want to thank all of you who took the time out of your schedule to be with us tonight. We're asking you to share this with someone and bring them with you next Wednesday night as we begin to expand this platform and grow. And we all want to grow together, and we're committed to each other's success. So we've started together and we'll finish together. You hear us say in MWR all the time, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And I think tonight, once again, Eric proves that. So Eric Wildner, truly an honor to share the platform with you again on another Wednesday night. I'll give you closing remarks, sir, as we wrap things up.
Well, I've remarked a lot, you know, and all I can say is, you know, you have to look around and see what's going on in the world. There are 3 major shifts going on in the world today. Okay. Number one, goes without saying, there's a huge financial shift. There's a huge transfer of wealth and you're going to see the gap is growing between the haves and the have-nots. And so there's a lot of people, you said that people living quiet lives of desperation. They're desperately looking for an opportunity, and they're looking for that opportunity to come knock on their door. Sometimes we got to bring it to their door, because otherwise they'd be sitting at home watching Oprah or Wheel of Fortune. But the other thing that is a big shift going on is the technology shift. See, what this company came to the market and does couldn't have been done 15 years ago. The technology wasn't there that would allow. I mean, look at the restaurant. Can the restaurant track every time you refer somebody? Are they going to give you a free appetizer? Are they going to give you a free meal if you refer 5 people? You'll be lucky if you get a pat on the back. The technology today exists not only for us to be able to track and create literally a business for only $249. And then there's a third big shift that's going on, and that's the demographics. And, people are now becoming more remote, and more people want to be remote. They want to be on their schedule. They want to be the master of their own destiny. And here's an opportunity again that allows you to combine these 3 big forces that are going on: the financial shift, the technology shift, and the demographic shift. And the minute that somebody understands what I just said, and I know I said a lot, there's only one decision to make, and that is that you got to get off the fence.
Wow. Well said, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'll give you your evening back. God bless all of you participating, and look forward to seeing you again on next Wednesday night. Fernando, once again, thank you for all that you do, sir.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good
Take
night,
care.
guys.
Bye. Bye.
Guys, open your mics and thank Mr. Wilner,
Yes.
please, if you would, for me, and for his
And
participation.
Dr. Parker.
Thank you both.
You bet. Good night, guys.
Hey, Edie, how are you?
Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Great
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you, Cassandra.
Dr. Parker,
Bye.
I have a prospect on that needs to talk to you.
Okay, great. Thank you, man.
Good night. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, Fernando.